Myths about out of control sexual behavior. If you've ever googled compulsive sexual behavior or sex addiction, you've probably come into at least 3 of these claims. This video is to challenge some of the fear mongering that makes people feel worse about behavior that they're already struggling with. Now, let's run through it quickly. Myth number 1. You might have heard porn rewires your brain. Now that's technically true, but here's where the fear mongering comes in. It's also quite misleading because of what it leaves out. The word is neuroplasticity, and that is not unique to porn. Literally everything you do rewires your brain. Learning the guitar rewires your brain. Doom scrolling rewires your brain. And jacking off does too. Your brain is built to adapt towards reward and away from punishment. That's not your brain malfunctioning, it's doing its job. Saying porn rewires your brain and then stopping there is like saying this water is really wet and implying that it needs a warning label. Myth number 2. Porn lights up the same reward pathways in your brain as drugs like cocaine or heroin. Also true, but that's not the flex you think it is. You want to know what else lights up those pathways? Bacon. Researchers have found the same dopamine changes in rats when they're given those drugs or fatty sugary junk food. Sex, food and drugs all kind of run through the same overlapping circuitry. It's not like you got one specific pathway in your brain that just lights up when you take cocaine and also when you watch porn. That's not how that works. Sharing the same reward pathway doesn't make two things equally addictive, equally dangerous, or even mechanistically the same. If activates the same reward pathways makes something a drug, bacon needs a warning label. Now let me pause here now. That's not to say that you can't have a problem with it or it hasn't been a harmful thing for you in your life, but it's not the same. And that leads me to myth number 3. Being a sex addict, quote unquote, makes you a bad person. A compulsion is not a character reference. Yes, compulsive behavior can hurt the people you love. That is real, and that's important. You could even hurt yourself. But it's like collateral damage from a deeper, usually old and unmet need. It's not proof the core of you is pure evil. Treating every compulsive behavior like a moral verdict just adds shame on top of a problem that shame probably helped to create in the first place. Myth number 4. Cheating means you're a sex addict. Nope. This line gets misused in both directions. People can just make poor decisions without qualifying for a clinical label. Slapping the label addict onto any case of infidelity can do 2 things. Both of them are bad. It can become a way to dodge accountability. It's not my love, it's my addiction. Or it can be a way to morally judge someone who's made a poor decision with a clinical sounding word instead of just labeling a poor decision a poor decision. Neither of those are a diagnosis. Call a spade, yes. But don't call it a spade just because it looks black and you don't know what clubs is. Myth number 5 is that you can get a sex addiction diagnosis. As far as 2026, sex addiction is not a recognized clinical diagnosis. What does exist is compulsive sexual behavior disorder, or CSBD. And even that isn't classified as an addiction. The World Health Organization places it under impulse control disorders. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't make anyone's experience less real, but the label you use can matter. Changing the label you give it also changes how you're treated, how you see yourself, and the clinical treatment that gets recommended to you. Now the pattern I see with all of these is that they are founded on science, but they're kind of oversimplified and stretched or moralized until they stop being accurate. And they start being scary and fear-mongering instead of just being useful. Now if you want useful information that's actually going to help you, that's what my Out of Control Sexual Behavior Recovery course, or OCSB recovery course, is built around. Based on real research, real clinical practice without the fear-mongering. From August the 20th, 2026, it's available on the website perchtherapy.co.uk.